Agent Romanoff. You miss me?
Oh yeah, Charles, we got ourselves an X-Men fan.
Captain.
Your Highness.
Captain, big fan, Spider-Man. Hey everyone.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Film Artsy. I'm your guy, Troy Baker, and today we are going to be breaking down episode 4 of What If. Before we get started with this video, I do have a Marvel trivia question for you. What is the name of Dr. Strange's cape? Let's see, without searching the internet, if you Marvel aficionados know the answer, drop it in the comments below. Now let's get started.
And ponder the question. What if?
So episode 4, you read the title. It says Dr. Strange loses his heart instead of his hands. It's a cryptic title because it is not indeed talking about him losing his heart physically as it is emotionally. We're taken to a universe where Dr. Strange is driving for his acceptance speech and doing some incredible surgery, and he takes his dear Christine with him. And the night plays out very similar to the first movie, where in Dr. Strange's car, they get in an accident, but instead of Dr. Strange losing his hands, Christine dies. This breaks Dr. Strange's heart. And the weight and significance of this moment is so great that it leads us down the path that this episode takes us. Now, everything in the first movie plays out the way that it does. He combats Dormammu, he successfully defeats him, he becomes the Sorcerer Supreme, just like it was in the movie. But he is still reconciling with the loss of someone he deeply loved. Even his pursuit for more and going into the sorcerer arts and mysticism is driven by the fact that he wants to find a way to bring her back. Once becoming the Sorcerer Supreme, he's wrestled with all the power that he has obtained, but still not able to change the moment where he lost Christine forever. Eventually, we see him sitting in the sanctum, holding the time stone, and we can see that he's contemplating doing something rather drastic and rash, and so does Juan. He says, Steven, let's go do something else before we make a poor decision. And we're taken to a really heartbreaking moment. And this one was so good about this episode is what it took to get Dr. Strange to where he gets at the end of this episode is he goes back in time and tries to just change the way that they were driving, change the route, change what they did that night. And every single time, Christine dies. Whether that's the car getting in a different kind of accident, or actually them getting mugged, or him not picking her up and the building that she's in burns down. It seems that no matter what he does, there's an absolute point in time where Christine in this universe dies, so Dr. Stephen Strange can become the Sorcerer Supreme. There's no changing it, and he just can't accept this reality. Dr. Strange decides he's going to turn to some more darker types of magic to pursue this change in absolute time. As he makes this decision, the Ancient One sends herself back as some kind of astral projection in time, imploring Dr. Strange to not do this and blasts him. But before it seems like she's going to stop him from doing what he's doing, he goes back in time to where apparently there was an old sorcerer who knew how to break an absolute point in time, which is what is happening to Christine. He's perusing all the books, centuries and centuries and centuries go by, and he's getting into deeper and darker magic until he comes upon a book that claims that to overcome this moment in time, he needs to absorb creatures and beings and mystic evil darkness to gain the ability to change this absolute point in time. And we start seeing the toll on him. It's weathering his face, it's making his eyes sunken as he learns to absorb all this dark energy and eventually becomes this egregiously evil sorcerer. We find out later in the episode though that that blast that the Ancient One hit him with actually split Dr. Strange into two. So the Dr. Strange that was becoming evil didn't have the full power of Dr. Strange because there was another Dr. Strange in that very timeline that did not decide to go back in time and do all of this to bring Christine back, but said it's time to move on and move forward. The Ancient One appears to this good Dr. Strange and says, listen, there's a version of you in this timeline that's up to some very evil dark magic, and if left to his vices, he's going to destroy our universe. And Dr. Strange is starting to see it. Everybody is starting to feather away like Thanos style, only black, gloopy, ceasing to exist. And Doctor Strange goes to confront his evil variant of himself. The evil variant is imploring Doctor Strange, saying, listen, we love Christine. What I'm doing is indeed good, and no matter the cost, it's worth it. This leads us to an incredible battle between two sorcerers, and what I like is initially I was a little bothered. I was like, this guy has spent centuries consuming dark magic, becoming more powerful. I'm not sure how Doctor Strange holds his own. And the truth is, he doesn't. At the very end of this whole epic battle, the evil Doctor Strange does indeed absorb the good Doctor Strange, becoming the fully powered Sorcerer Supreme that he thinks he needs to turn back time and bring Christine back. He heads back to the moment where the car crash takes place, and he uses all these evil beings' powers, which you can see all the toll and all these creatures amalgamated to this monstrosity. He reverses time and brings Christine back, as she's subjected to the same fate as everyone else in the universe. She immediately starts fading into black goop and is terrified by this creature that's claiming that it is Doctor Strange. Doctor Strange, the evil Sorcerer Supreme, realizes what he's done, and he sees the Watcher, the one that's been narrating this entire series, and implores him to fix what he's done. He's like, the whole universe is going to be destroyed from my decision. I felt you. I know you were there. Change this. And the Watcher says, I'm not a god. I simply observe, but I do not intervene. And you're not a god either, Stephen Strange. You must live with what you've done. And the episode ends on this sobering note as he holds Christine fading away, realizing that he's not going to be with Christine. He's destroyed the universe, and he'll live out the rest of his days alone in this small sphere of the mirror realm by himself, consumed by his own arrogance that he could indeed become powerful enough to change this absolute point in time. This episode's great from the get-go. The animation, the story, the idea, the voice acting, it's gripping. 5-10 minutes in, my heart is ripped out as I watch him try to change the situation with Christine, and he can't, no matter how hard he tries. And he's not able to cope. And then I like that this episode doesn't have a happy ending. Sorry if that's a spoiler for you, but if you're watching this episode, you probably knew that there's going to be a spoiler. It shows the consequences of messing with things. That you can't always get what you want, and no matter how far and how deep and how dark you go, it might not result in what you wanted. It actually shows the responsibility, especially someone like Doctor Strange has, knowing all he knows, all the powers he has access to, and that it might not be enough to save that which he loved. Love can do more than break hearts, it can shatter minds, and that's what it does to this Doctor Strange. And it's crazy to think that there's a universe out there that Doctor Strange destroys everything. He's forever to live alone. This is an excellent episode. It's supremely well done, and I am just so glad that they have done. I mean, it's great. Go watch it. You need to. Once again, thank you guys so much for watching. Did you answer the question in the comments below? It is indeed the Cloak of Levitation. If you got that, good for you. Let me know in the comments if you did get that without looking on the internet. And as always, guys, if you like this video, please like and subscribe. We're going to be breaking down every episode of What If. And all I can say is, if this is the standard moving forward, I'm very excited to continue watching this series, especially with the letdown from last week. You can always like, subscribe, turn on notifications so you know right away when our videos are coming out. And as always, thanks so much for watching. I will see you later.